AI is changing the game. Are you using it to win or getting left behind? What's going on? Welcome back to So Much Game. My name is Dante Catlett, and this is where we decode the creator economy and help you level up your brand. Today, we're diving into AI creativity and the future of content creation. And you already know, I'm going to give you my insights, my personal experience, and a few bold predictions. I feel like every day I log on to Instagram and I'm finding out about some new AI tool that is changing the game. Whether it's image generation, AI companies competing against each other, the ability to do deep research, deep fakes. There's so many different AI topics to talk about, but I really want to focus on how we as content creators, as creators in movies, music, in any art form, how you can utilize AI. Now let's talk about this because it's a very sensitive topic for most artists. And I understand why. There are a lot of AI platforms, if you're not aware, that train their AI models on content that they're scrubbing from the internet, which means that they have no permission from artists to use their photos, their likeness, their sounds, to create what you're seeing online. When you see an image generated by an AI model, you don't really know which one it's coming from, and you don't know where it's pulling its data from. Me as a creative, I have mixed emotions about this. I was so against the fence with AI when it first came out. The moment I saw it, I was like, this is whatever. Then in 2023, I visited 3 of the biggest tech conferences in the world: Meta Connect, Lenovo Tech World, and Adobe Max. Can I just say that the buzzword overall was AI, and I heard it so much that I really just wanted to plug my ears. But when I looked around the room, I saw a lot of older people, and I was like, there's no way that these old people are going to understand artificial intelligence and the consequences of what's about to happen right now. If they can't even understand how to utilize and navigate social media. For the younger generation, for people who are open-minded, and for people who are just constantly learning, this is possibly the greatest era, and you don't want to miss out on this. When I sat in these rooms, I looked around and I said, this is going to level the playing field for anybody that has internet connection or access to a cell phone or a computer. For example, when I went to the Philippines, I told my friends about this, and they had no idea. Mind you, AI and being able to generate images and what was happening had been going on for the last 2 years. So they're slightly behind. They didn't know about ChatGPT and they didn't take it serious to study about it. So I put them up on game. Getting back into some of the tools that have blown my mind, right? Like you hear about ChatGPT all the time, and it's having to compete with Google's Gemini, which is their large language model, Meta AI, and China's version of ChatGPT, which is called DeepSeek. And every time these companies come up with some new update, ChatGPT is also updating it. And just to let you know, like I use Meta AI, I use ChatGPT in a lot of my workflows. For the possibilities, the price that I'm paying, it does everything that I need to. Why do I use it? Because I look at it as if I'm a solopreneur and I need somebody who can be my assistant whenever I need them. I need somebody to be able to bounce ideas off of. I need somebody who can help me create high-level tasks very quickly, be able to do research for me, and somebody who's able to generate images for storyboarding or for pitch decks. So to me, this is like having a high-level executive assistant. I don't believe that it's going to replace the entrepreneur or replace the creative. Now, where we have to draw the line and understand, though, is it can take away jobs from a lot of people. You know, when we said technology is going to take your jobs, we should just start thinking about the people who work 9 to 5s. You start seeing grocery stores, Walmart, Target start to implement self-checkouts. But what if in a world where all of the checkout kiosks become self-checkouts? What if in a world every aisle has an AI robot that can help you out, that you can communicate with, that can help you find products stocked from other stores quicker than a human being could? The same could be said about security. If you look at what China's doing, they have a social credit system going on. So if you get caught stealing, loss prevention is not going to chase after you. They're just going to use facial recognition technology and be able to identify exactly who you are. I don't want to jump too far down the rabbit hole. For content creators and creatives, the next step is, who else is AI going to replace in the workforce? I truly believe that high-level executives and directors are going to have to manage multiple teams of large language model or AI agents, from data analysis to marketing, sales. I mean, hell, you're even seeing platforms like 11 Labs. If you don't know what 11 Labs is, it is an AI that can replicate, clone, and go from text to voice, any voice that you want to in the world. And you probably see it a lot on social media now. You have Opus Clip that can take this video and split it up into 30 different short form videos. And it will rank from which ones, using its data that it's trained on, knowing which ones would perform well on social media platforms. Then you have Midjourney and you have DALL-E, which are text to image generation, which are incredible and super fast at giving it a prompt and giving you images almost in the blink of an eye. Even ChatGPT, where it's at right now, the fact that you can do deep research, the fact that you can ask it to give you business ideas, ask it to script things for you, write and do different tasks for you. So I'll walk you through one workflow that I do. One workflow is I will have an idea that pops up in my head just off of observing something or being inspired. I'll ask ChatGPT, hey, here's an idea that I have. Can you validate it and tell me how I can implement it into one of the projects that I have, whether it's my personal project or it is my business project. Based off of the data that I fed it, it will validate those ideas and it'll tell me honestly if it is a good idea or if it is a bad idea and the possibilities of how I can execute it. Ask me, do you want a step-by-step plan? Do you want me to develop a web page for this? I've already trained it to ask me those questions. And then from there, I will go ahead and say, okay, I'm developing a website landing page. Let's just say I need you to tell me step by step every section of the homepage that I'm developing. Tell me what type of pictures I need. Then when it comes down to me adding photos, if there's something that I don't have and I can generate it using Midjourney, I'll say, give me a prompt to generate an image that I can use for my homepage. Now I'll read through everything that it's given me. I'll either choose one of those prompts or I'll go in and fix it myself because it might not be exactly what I need, but it's important that you know how these large language models communicate. That way you can get better at prompt writing. I think that that's going to be a skill that you as a creative should understand. Yes, we've learned how to write, we've learned how to communicate, but there are ways that large language models know how to communicate. From there, I'll take that prompt, put it into Midjourney. It'll generate images for me. If I like it, I'll just upscale it to make sure that it's high quality. Now, what's even more insane from there, right? I can do that over and over again. Just repeat cycle, get hundreds of photos, download them, put them into a folder. And then I can use a website like Kling or Runway. And what this does is it takes my photos, I'll add a prompt and tell it exactly how I want it to animate this video. So now it's saving me hours from animating a photo, having to draw anything out, and gives me 10-second clips that I can use for short form, long form videos. And I think that this is a game changer because what we're going to see here is technology is going to completely democratize every sector in the world, without a doubt in my mind. The only sectors that I think that technology won't completely democratize are like food and water, just commodities that we can't control, like real estate. They will be implemented into these industries, but they won't completely control them and just democratize it. What I mean by that is people are used to paying thousands of dollars for coaching services and courses. Well, why would you have to do that or even go to a university when you can just talk to an AI model? And if you're willing to learn, pick up new skill sets, cross-reference that with doing research yourself. If you wanted to be an entrepreneur, but you sucked at drawing and animation, you no longer have to hire a team of a bunch of people to do that, which would cost millions of dollars to do and countless hours. You can validate your ideas immediately. Now, as a creative, I'm not telling you to just solely focus on AI. I truly believe that the human has to play a part and a role in creativity. But to utilize it to validate ideas as quick as possible in order for you to fail quicker so that you can succeed faster and foster these dreams before others do and be able to build a team that you need. Like, the thing that blows my mind is that a lot of these companies have teams smaller than 30 people, yet they're making over $200 million a month. Maybe the government stops AI or they put in a law or a bill, but I'm not at that level to decide that. I just can tell you what is happening right now in the current state, and that if you're not utilizing artificial intelligence in some form or capacity, that you're playing the game handicap. What I hear a lot of is AI is replacing creatives. Now, if you're a graphic designer and you don't have great ideas, or if you're a videographer and you don't have ideas for planning a business ahead, then yes, somebody who is an excellent prompt writer is going to create an Etsy store with beautifully designed graphics that you had no idea were created using AI. And they also have the ambition to be an entrepreneur, and they can make $1 million before you because you were stuck waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for the spark of creativity. We see this happen even before AI, that people are being outsmarted by e-commerce strategists, digital strategists, people who understand how digital media works, how basic consumer psychology works. So whether it's artificial intelligence or it's just somebody who's smarter, more passionate and ambitious than you, you're always going to have naysayers and people saying these negative things. Now, don't get too much anxiety over it. Just learn about what's going on. There's so many different platforms, so many free resources out there for you to learn about artificial intelligence. And once you start utilizing it and implementing it slowly into your workflow, whether that is what you want to do or you don't want to do, that's totally up to you. You will see that it's not that complicated. You will see that there's so many valid applications to utilize it. For me, what I believe in is never stop learning. The moment you stop learning, the moment everything's just going to suddenly start slowing down for you. You're going to become complacent and you're going to get stuck at where you're currently at. There are going to be people who lean on technology heavily, and the moment that there's a solar flare and all of our chips get burned and there is no internet connection, there's going to be a group of people who have no idea how to build a house, how to plant food in the ground and grow it. One of the things that you can do now is learn those things quickly. You don't need to spend 4 years at a university to learn basic skill sets. That's common knowledge. Like I said, it's democratizing the playing field for you. How do you stay original while using AI? I think that there's so many ways to find your own original style utilizing artificial intelligence. And one of the companies that I have respect for because of their positioning is Adobe. And Adobe has prided themselves on protecting creators. That is their entire brand ethos, and that's what differentiates them from most companies who are focusing on integrating AI into their platforms. Their promise and commitment is that their large language models are not trained on the art that we put into these platforms. It's only trained on commercial and royalty-free safe content that's in their own stock database, which is incredible. They also have a way to certify whether this content was generated with artificial intelligence, which I think is where we're headed towards, right? You already see on Instagram and TikTok, there's a little toggle that you can turn on when you post a piece of content, notifying people if it's AI generated. But I think in the future, any company that has artificial intelligence is going to automatically have that digital thumbprint. This might be us moving into the metaverse, into a decentralized network, which is, when we start talking about cryptocurrencies and Ethereum and Bitcoin, everything will be on the blockchain. Everything will be digitized. We'll be able to have a digital fingerprint everywhere. You see what NVIDIA is doing there, enabling us as consumers to have our own AI supercomputer at our desks. And it's kind of insane that I have zero ability, knowledge to code. The best that I can do is go to a website from MySpace back in the day or Tumblr and copy a CSS or HTML code and paste it in there and change the color code. That's about as best as I can do. But the fact that I can ask ChatGPT and other large language models to produce a code for me for an application or a web page, it just blows my mind. That's where I see the future of going. For validating ideas on social, I'll use ChatGPT, Notion AI, and I'll use Meta because I like researching on different wavelengths. And potentially I'm starting to look at Gemini, Google's AI. And then from there, for image generation, always going to be Midjourney. The only time that I will use DALL-E, which is integrated with ChatGPT and OpenAI, is for text. For some reason, when you ask it to generate a photo, it gets the text a little bit better than Midjourney, but I've noticed that Midjourney is working on that. For video generation, animation, it's going to be Kling and it's going to be Runway. One of the ones that I'm also looking at right now is Pika Labs. Pika Labs is blowing my mind. It takes out the need for motion capture suits. So when you see like the behind the scenes of Avengers, they have the guy in the green suit with the dots all over his body. That's motion capture. Or if you've seen like Avatar. Now I could use a cell phone and map my movements, ask Pika to generate me in a zombie outfit or in a glitter suit or just whatever type of situation I want to be in. And it happens in real time. There's no need for animators in different teams. So I believe this is going to be the greatest era of creativity that we're going to see. One of the things that I'm seeing right now is the possibility of the world having generative TV shows and movies. And that kind of scares me because what will happen to fandom? And what I mean by this is, let's say you watch The Walking Dead, Severance, The White Lotus, Breaking Bad, or whatever, right? We all know how the show ends at the end of the season. But what if the last episode, you could generate a different scenario? So now, whatever ideas that you had of this is how I wanted the show to end, or a what if moment, you can make possible and come to reality, but your reality wouldn't align with others. So maybe this opens up a new discussion. I mean, I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments how you feel about this. Where I see AI content going next is, again, it's going to democratize creativity. I've got sneak peeks of what's coming next from certain companies. And, there's public knowledge from Adobe Max having the ability to do generative video. The fact that I'm not in a suit, but if I wanted to, I could generate me in a suit. It would replicate the shadows and the lighting flawlessly. I think that right now AI, if you not know this, but it takes up a lot of energy. Like it uses water and it uses a lot of power in order to generate certain things. So if we can find a way that is just more eco-friendly, that'll be a game changer. I think that what we think is going to happen in the next 12 months is already possible. It's just a matter of who's willing to pay more money. And it's an AI race. The more China or Meta or OpenAI starts throwing out these new features they're working on, the other companies have no choice but to compete at that level. And because I told you that technology is going to be democratized, I think that it's going to be wildly affordable and available for everybody that has access to the internet, that has a computer or a smartphone in their back pocket. It's just a matter of what it is that you want to do with it. So in this opportunity, right, the reason why I say that this is the golden age of AI is because the conversations that we're going to have in 24 months from now are not going to be the same that we're having today. And the fact that somebody can generate an AI agent, I'm seeing this already, okay? There are people who have AI agents that have an entire workflow system that jump between all the apps that I just named. All they have to do is press a button. ChatGPT gives them 30 prompts. Those prompts go through a funnel system, through a Webflow or a wireframe system, and it automatically generates the images. It automatically generates the video, and it automatically adds the text into an AI video editor. Now all you have to do is just go ahead and verify that everything looks good, press publish, schedules it, and it goes out. What this is going to do to creators is there's a lot of different variables as to what can happen, but ultimately it goes back to what I was saying in the last episode, that there's only so much attention in the world. 24 hours a day, people are going to get locked into their smartphones, to their VR headsets, to their augmented reality glasses, and we're going to see where the future goes. Will it be like Ready Player One? But I think that the greatest storytellers, the people with the most charisma, The people who are the most authentic and show up as themselves are going to be able to keep that connection with the people who truly matter. And I think that you don't need millions of followers to be successful in life. I think that you need a few thousand people who rock with you. I think that you need to put out products that are valuable to people, that you can help them change their lives, because there's always going to be somebody on a different journey. That journey that you took, that you can help out and provide solutions to. I just want to go over and recap everything that we talked about. We talked about how artificial intelligence is going to disrupt the creator economy, how it is going to democratize creativity for everybody, and it's going to allow access to multiple people to generate wealth that has never existed before in their lives. It is also going to do a lot of bad in the world. So we're just going to see how that plays out. We talked about the top applications that I use. Please let me know in the comment section, what are the ones that you love to use? If you're listening to this episode and you're somebody who is looking to start their content creation journey, maybe you're working a 9-to-5 and you fear AI, but you've always wanted to take that leap of faith, you can download my free guide that helps you unlock your potential. And I also have another free guide that gives you 30 ideas and is a challenge for you to take. A 30-day challenge for you to produce original content. That's linked down below. Go ahead and check that out. Moving forward, I would love to set up a series where I react to AI, so that way you can actually see the applications of how it's used and post it on the channel. So let me know if that's something that you're down to look into. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. My name is Dante Catlett. This is So Much Game. You can follow me on all of my social medias at Dante Catlett. I'll see you on the next one, y'all.